Neonic Void Productions presents.
What episode was? Ladies and gentlemen listening, hi, welcome to Spokocalypse. I'm your host, Zio, coming to you live, not live. Obviously, Bunya housekeeper. If you want to know what the hell are they talking about, go back to episode 99 titled Never Again, parentheses, speak no evil, and you will understand what we're talking about. My God, it's been that long.
What episode are we on now? What episode is this?
This episode, this number right here is going to be, so Beau was afraid 153. Hold up. 153, 54, 5. We're at 155 right now.
Wow. Oh my God, we're almost to 200.
Oh my God. We were at 100 January 21st, 2023.
Damn, has it really been that long?
It has. It has. Yeah.
It's been over a year and it still affects me this much. Like, I still think about this fucking movie. Like, you have, like, this movie, like, haunts me. Like, Jesus, like, good job. Like, props to these people who fucking made these.
Yeah.
That movie still haunts me.
God, Bunyip, you're right. You've been on this podcast since episode 38, July 3rd, 2021.
Mine was, I think, Hobo with the Shotgun or
Frankenhooker.
Whichever one, or Frankenhooker, whichever one came first. That was the first episode.
I think Frankenhooker was the first.
Velocipaster, you were already on there for that.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Frankenhooker, episode 62. And that's April 8th, 2022. Jesus. I feel so old. And this podcast has been going on since the first episode was post October 3rd, 2020. Oh my God, it's been 4 years. Oof.
Pandemic time. Yay.
Yay.
Not us having that conversation on fucking Sunday. Like, oh yeah, the pandemic happened 2 years ago. It happened in 2020. Like, what?
4. That's why these podcasts are made. Anyway, before we get to today's episode, take it away, housekeeper.
Yep. If you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Make new episodes get uploaded every Saturday, so share with your friends because links will be down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That's at SPOOKALYPSE. Speaking of time passing, it's been 2 years since they changed the name of Twitter, and nobody ever refers to it as the name it's been changed to.
Wait, it has not been 2 years since they changed the name. You're lying. Wait, when did become? You're lying to me. It has not been 2 years. It hasn't even been 1 year. You're making me feel old.
That'd be hilarious.
You're making me feel old.
I know. I wanted to freak him out for a minute. It's not true, but he's like, "Shut up! No, it's not."
All the worst events of my life conveniently happened 2 years ago, and it's like, really?
Imagine.
Jesus.
Imagine years ago. Imagine. Anyway, our handle is at Spookocalypse. That's at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We are also on YouTube. If you are from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you drop a like. Put down in the comments if you've seen this movie. What your favorite part of the movie was. If there's something that you want to hear us talk about, or drop down and say hi. We don't bite. We may be talking about spooky shit, but we're nice people. Make sure that you tickle, ring, take it out to dinner, whatever you want to do with that bell.
Yes, touch it appropriately.
Touch it appropriately. You got to ask it permission first. It has to be consent. Yeah.
With
But in
consent.
order for you to get his consent, you have to
Oh
press
my
that subscribe
god.
button, okay? And then you can.
Oh my god.
I'm just
So,
kidding. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not your mom. We're gonna be doing some spooky shit.
yeah.
And Mint will be on the pillow. But this time it's
Yeah.
not mint. It's a gold coin.
A gold coin.
Like those gold wrapped chocolate coins.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah.
You know
So,
that I actually do that for St. Patrick's Day for my son.
oh my god.
Yeah, like I leave them spread around everywhere.
You literally want to God, I'm gonna make a joke at myself. You really want to seal the deal on the leprechaun? I'll dress up as a leprechaun and just go around your house in the middle of the night on right before St. Patrick's Day.
That's so funny.
It is, because it's about what we're talking about today. Let me tell you, let me paint a picture, right? Picture me, Zio, beautiful, suddenly gorgeous ginger, living his best life, or trying to. And we're thinking of ideas to do for April. And I'm like, oh my God, Leprechaun, the first one. Oh, it's gonna be great. And then, first off, we're not doing Leprechaun during March. I know. I didn't want to make a joke. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not talking about this movie
But you
because
know
there's
what's
gonna be a joke
funny?
there. What?
The original like time that we were supposed to, like the day that we were going to be recording it was the day after St. Patrick's Day.
You're fucking lying to me. Hold up. You're lying to me.
Like it was
You're
the week of St.
fucking.
Patrick's.
Oh my God, it fucking was. It fucking was. There's a joke there, ladies and gentlemen, and others. So we're recording this currently on March 26th. What? We're recording this in the past. I pre-record, duh. So we're recording this on March 26th, 2024, 2 days before my lovely 29th birthday. I'm 30. I'm gonna be turning 32. I know.
You're just gonna
29th birthday.
every year you're gonna go back in time to stay below 30.
What is this fucking Benjamin Button? The fuck?
Yeah. In gay years, I'm literally the crypt keeper. It's fine. It's fine. It's
You're an
not
old
fine.
man.
Bitch, you're gonna be 30 in like this month at the time of
Shut the
this at the
fuck up.
time of this
Shut up.
posting, when this
Shut your
episode's
mouth.
up. Actually, when this episode's uploaded, you're literally gonna be 30 in like 8 days.
And you're right. Wait.
Because this episode will go up on the 20th. Yeah, the 20th. So 8
The
days.
13th. Oh
No,
no, it is gonna be the
no.
20th. Oh
It's gonna
my
be the 20th.
god.
8
You're right.
days for you
In
turn
8
30,
days.
you bitch. So
How dare you?
we're talking about, or they're going to be talking about the movie Leprechaun. Why am I not talking about it, ladies and gents? Because I'm a ginger, I'm Irish, I'm kind of short. And when I watched the movie, and as I had a conversation with Bunyip and Housekeeper, they just see me all over the movie. And I'm like, oh my
Look,
God,
listen. I
I
didn't
just made a
see
joke of
you.
myself.
No, I didn't see you in the movie. I heard you in the fucking movie, bitch. Like you and your fucking like weird ass noises you make.
Ah,
You're like,
ah,
bleh. Like
yeah.
you make that noise right there. That one. That's the same fucking
I
noise that the
fucking
leprechaun makes.
hate it. And then I watch the movie again, and I'm like, oh my God, I see it. I'm gonna jump out my
Maybe,
fucking window.
maybe you're just projecting because I don't ever recall being like, "Ha, this reminds me of Zio." I just saw a movie with a leprechaun in it.
It's the noises. It's literally just the noises that he makes.
God
That
damn
shit.
it.
That shit right there.
I do a
Like
lot
the
of that
little
outside the pod.
he does that so much. He does that so much. So like for reference though, like we meet up every Thursday to play Dungeons and Dragons in person.
Yeah.
And like he makes those fucking noises. Mind you, the character he plays is a beautiful, tall, like long-haired blonde, like elf lady.
Not
And
blonde,
this
brunette.
man's like bleh. She's like a strawberry blonde. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like the
I'm a little
profile picture.
gremlin, okay?
No, that's not what Pella looks like. Because
No, but
the one
I'm a little gremlin, not Pella. I'm a little gremlin.
no, he's asking like your profile picture. No, Zio's
Oh,
profile picture there is the Phoenix.
Jean Grey,
Yeah.
Miss Marvel girl. Jean Grey, Queen Icon Legend.
Interesting.
Love
Mine's
her.
mine's a cat from an Irish animated film.
I know, and I
Mine
love
is a
it.
picture of myself in an anime filter. No, listen, like, my boyfriend asked me to send him a picture of me as an anime person, and I sent him, like, 10 different ones, and he said that this was the perfect one that encapsulates exactly how he sees.
Mm.
So, you can go suck one.
So today we are going to be talking about the movie Leprechaun. This movie is a
Sorry.
horror comedy directed by Mark Jones. Mark Jones is a director, also directed Leprechaun 2, Rumpelstiltskin, Quiet Kill, Scorned. I would say Leprechaun's obviously his probably most well-known piece of work. It was released January 8th, 1993. Why not released in March? Missed opportunity. Trimark Pictures. This movie stars Warwick Davis, who plays the Leprechaun. Jennifer Aniston playing Tori Redding. Ken Olant. Mark Hulton. I think those are probably the biggest names. Robert Gorman, William Newman, Shay Doofin. That's, I mean, the big names were already pretty much set. But yeah, this is not. I was gonna say this is Warwick Davis's first role. No, it was not. No, it was not. I had to correct myself. No, it was not. He was in a lot of Star Wars stuff before this one, and Willow. Any whoosies. He plays title character. Did you know originally that this movie was supposed to be a straight up horror film? But then Davis got the role, and then they turned it into a comedy afterward because apparently he was real hilarious. The budget for this movie was $1 million, and the box office was $8.6 million. And what happened after that, you may ask? They spawned sequels? They sure as hell they did. Leprechaun 2, 3, 4. Leprechaun 4 in space? Let me tell you something. That one, buffoonery. And I love it. Leprechaun in the Hood and Leprechaun Back to the Hood. The sequel to that. All starred Warwick Davis. Leprechaun went to the hood, y'all. What the fuck? And then they did a Origins called Leprechaun Origins from WWE Studios, and that was not good. It turned the Leprechaun more into a monster rather than the jokey comedy horror that it was. They tried to make it more serious. And basically they just made goblins. That's all. The Leprechaun was, like a goblin. And
Of course,
then
Vince McMahon made something fucking worse whenever he put his hands on it.
it wasn't that great.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
then
I'm a big
Go on.
WWE fan. I'm a big
Oh my
WWE
God.
fan. So of course fucking Vince McMahon fucked up a good fucking franchise.
Right.
Anyway.
And then recently, Sci-Fi Channel back in 2018 made a Leprechaun Returns, which ignores all the other sequels, and it's a direct sequel to the original one. That one I actually like. That one's pretty good. And that one does not star Warwick. They got someone else to play the role of the Leprechaun. He decided to stay out of this one, and they got someone else to do it. But that sequel is actually not bad. And if that sequel's out there somewhere in streaming, we'll probably do an episode on it someday. But nonetheless, Leprechaun. So there's all the information you need. Let's get to it. Which one of y'all is gonna start it?
There it is.
I
There.
could try and give it a start. So it's
Hit
it's
it.
1983, and then we got this Irish man called Dan O'Grady. He returns to his home in North Dakota because he just got back from a
Yeah.
trip from Ireland, and he's just like, I just got me some leprechaun gold. I'm gonna bury this somewhere. And then the leprechaun followed him home
Oh,
somehow, and the first thing he does is kill his poor wife.
I mean, he don't like his gold taken.
Yeah, he gives like fair warnings, like it's not nice to steal from a leprechaun.
And you find out it's very much not nice to steal from a leprechaun.
Mhm. And Dan O'Grady, not giving the gold back, is like, I'm keeping this. I'm going to lure you into a box. And even though this leprechaun can teleport in a few little different kinds of powers, but mainly teleportation, leprechaun magic, you don't need too much of an explanation. But O'Grady uses a 4-leaf clover and just lays it on the box, and that shuts everything down.
Hmm.
But before Dan can burn him, like burn the box, he has a stroke. And well, I don't really know what happens to him. I think after the stroke, he's just taken to the hospital and he doesn't get to go home. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but 10 years later, we've got someone named JD and his teenage daughter, Tori, played by Jennifer Aniston. They're renting this farmhouse for the summer and they're just going to spend some time together. But Tori has this attitude of like, I don't want to go hang out in some dingy old house.
Mm.
But at the same time, we've also got these these painters, Nathan Murphy, his 10-year-old brother Alex, and their dim-witted friend Ozzy, and they're here to repaint the farmhouse. And I found Ozzy kind of likable. Like he seems like he's slow, and they keep saying that like we're gonna get you some money to fix your brain. I'm like, he seems fine, just maybe unsure of himself.
Right.
Like this poor guy's on the spectrum. Like, give him a fucking break, bro.
Yeah,
But to be fair, it's back in the day, so like,
it was the '80s where mental health wasn't taken quite as seriously.
yeah. Well, it was early '90s.
All right, technically this is 10 years after that, so it's in the 1993. Good point. So, what happens next? For some reason, like Ozzy enters the basement and he hears the leprechaun crying for help, and he thinks it's like a kid inside of the crate because the leprechaun has the power to emulate anyone's voice.
Hmm.
And he brushes off this old dead 4-leaf clover off the crate, and then the leprechaun's able to escape. And the leprechaun explains to Ozzy that he's an Irish shoemaker and he came to America looking for his gold. And Ozzy freaks out because, like, I don't have the gold, runs off because the leprechaun is scary. And Ozzy's trying to tell them about the leprechaun, and they clearly don't believe him.
Why would you? It's a
Exactly.
leprechaun.
It sounds far fetched.
Hmm.
And then suddenly, like, Ozzy's like, there's a rainbow. We got to go get it because their goal's going to be at the end. And then, like, the kid, Alex, goes with them. It's like, "Mm, okay, excuse me. They find the bag of gold, which has exactly 100 gold coins, and it just appears, like it's just there. Like I thought it was buried, but I think it just shows up. I was like, oh, it's just here. So then Ozzy bites down on the coin to test to see if it's legit, but he ends up swallowing it. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
no,
Oh
yeah,
yes.
oh no. But anyway, they stash it in a well just to keep it for the time being, and they're gonna just keep it for themselves, and of course, to fix Ozzy's brain, even though he seems like a normal person, just a little odd. Anyway, back at the farm, the leprechaun lures JD into a trap by imitating a cat. And I think he was like in a bush, or was it a tree? He was hiding somewhere, and then JD is reaching out to find this cat, and then just like bites his hand.
Huh.
So it gives everyone a reason to like rush him to the hospital, while the leprechaun follows on a fucking tricycle. I know it's just silly. He just has a trike out of nowhere, and he's like pedaling it really fast, like like at that
God,
point, I'm like, this is so cartoony.
it is.
But yeah, while they're looking for the hospital, Alex and Ozzy are like, "Hey, we're gonna go do a thing at a place," and they visit a pawn shop to see if the gold is pure. And they're like, "Yeah, this seems like legit gold. You mind if I hang on to it for a little longer just to be sure?" It's like, okay. And then the owner of the pawn shop is just looking at the gold, and all of a sudden the leprechaun shows up and is like, "I want me gold," and then he kills Joe, uh, because he thought he stole the gold. And is this the one where he kills him with a pogo stick?
I
I think it is.
think
Like it's
so.
like there's a bunch of stuff in the shop, and one of them he has a pogo stick and he just hops up and down. And who the heck just sent me a friend request?
Huh?
I have no idea. So Alex and
Um,
Ozzy visit a pawn shop to see if the gold is here, and the leprechaun kills Joe, the shop owner, for stealing his gold and shines the corpse to yeah. So at the pawn shop, I think that's whenever the pogo thing happens. Pogo.
Oh yeah, um, I dealt with that. So he has the pogo stick and just pounces on his chest until he dies, and then he shines the shoes of the dead Joe before leaving. And the way he shines shoes, it's like it's played as like, oh, he's a shoemaker, so it makes sense that he would have some interest in shoes. But then they treat it like it's an obsessive compulsion.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just odd. Like we're gonna distract him with shoes. They throw shoes at him. He's like, no, I have to clean every single one of them.
It's like throwing rice at a vampire so that he could count all the fucking grain.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like there's a like like one of those like rumors about like vampires that you want to know why they have like the count in the Muppets, or I'm sorry, the not the Muppets, the fucking Sesame Street, is because vampires have a compulsion of counting things. So if you throw like rice out in front of them, they have a compulsion to count all the grains from it.
oh shit.
Don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard it.
I want to see that in more movies, especially like
That would be so fucking
hilarious
funny.
vampire movies. Like he's extremely powerful, and then someone's like, "Throw some. We don't have any rice. What do we have? Toothpicks." And they throw a bunch of toothpicks, and he's like, "Oh, what's the box say? 100 count?" And it's like, "Yeah, but we've used a few of them, so there might be like 99. You got to be extra sure." And he's like, "Oh, fine." He's like, "1, 2. Oh, I fucking lost count. Hang on. Start over. 1, 2."
That'd
That's great.
be so fucking.
But they Ozzy and Alex meet back up at this diner where everyone's eating. I was like, "Where'd you guys go?" I was like, nothing. It, everything's fine. Nothing suspicious." But then they go back to the farmhouse, and the leprechaun, he makes himself a go kart, and he's going back to the farmhouse. I don't know what happened to his trike, but he has this go kart, and he gets pulled over by an officer on the way back for speeding.
Oof.
I mean, I thought it would be more for like, I don't know if this vehicle is suited for public roadways.
Uh,
And then, like, the officer gets kinda lippy with him, and then Leprechaun pretty much kills him.
Hmm.
But, yeah, Leprechaun basically makes it back to the farmhouse looking for his gold, and he shines every shoe that he comes across. And JD is still at the hospital, so the group is back at the farmhouse, and they find that the farmhouse has been ransacked, mainly the kitchen. And so Nathan is checking outside, and he falls into he steps into a bear trap that was set by the leprechaun. And the group fights the leprechaun outside for the first time. And I think this is the part where they were like, "What ransacked the building?" I think it was a bear. And it's like, why would it?
Why would a bear?
I know, just I'm not saying that there aren't bears in North Dakota. I'm sure there are. Just they meticulously ransacked the kitchen.
Yep.
Anyway, so they find a shotgun in the farmhouse, and then they shoot at the leprechaun, and it doesn't kill them, but it definitely knocks him back. And I think this is where Tori's like, "That was no fucking bear." But anyways, they do try to flee the farm in the truck, but the truck's engine has been sabotaged, so they can't get it to work. And then the leprechaun's like ramming the truck with a go-kart. I don't know if that's going to accomplish much.
Huh.
But then Ozzy reveals like, "Hey, we found some gold. Let's tell you where it is." And then Tori gets the bag from the well and gives it to the leprechaun. And I was like, "Okay, let's go back to the hospital now that we've gotten rid of the leprechaun. He has his gold." And the leprechaun is counting all of his money, and he's noticing that there's one missing. It's the one Ozzy accidentally swallowed earlier. So now he's angry because they tricked him. So
Which, not really. They just didn't know.
yeah, they kind of forgot about it.
No, they just didn't know, other than the dude who fucking swallowed it.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Ozzy tells him about Dan O'Grady, and I don't remember how Ozzy got this information, but they talk about how O'Grady is in the nursing home, and he's been there since his stroke. And this is where they're trying to distract the leprechaun by like throwing dirty shoes around, and he has to shine all of them.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, this is where Tori shows up at the nursing home to learn how to kill this leprechaun. And they're at the nursing home. The leprechaun is waiting in the room, pretending to be O'Grady because he can just teleport at any time. I kind of forgot that he could teleport. I'm like, how did he get here so fast without a vehicle? I'm like, oh, that's right. He can just show up whenever, wherever.
Mhm.
But yeah, she chases Tori to the elevator, and the leprechaun has actually taken O'Grady and thrown him down the elevator shaft. And then O'Grady is pretty much on top of the elevator. He's dying, and he's like, "Miss, the only way to kill a leprechaun is to use a four-leaf clover." Which I thought that was just used to trap him, but it seems like it can also kill him too. And does it make sense? I'm not
I
sure, but
mean,
we're gonna go with it.
don't be trying to kill me with a fucking 4-leaf clover.
So they go back to the farmhouse again, and they check the property. There's like a patch of clovers that are outside, and they're like picking all of them. I was like, 3 leaves, 3 leaves, 3 leaves, 3 leaves, and then they finally. Well, actually, I don't think they find it yet, but they get attacked by the leprechaun again. And then Ozzy reveals that he's followed that last coin, and the leprechaun is like, "I'm just gonna cut your stomach open and get it out."
Oh,
But just in
Like,
time,
you can't wait a
Tori,
few hours until he poops it out.
yeah, just like in 4 to 6 hours, it'll be ready.
oh Lord.
But yeah, Alex takes a four-leaf clover that Tori found, and he sticks it in a wad of gum, and he shoots at the leprechaun. He's like, "Fuck you, Lucky Charms," and it lands in his
Oh,
mouth, and it starts to melt. And then Leprechaun falls into the well, but a skeleton climbs out. Just like, I'm still not dead. And then they like just push the leprechaun back into the well. And then he blows up the well with, I'm guessing they have dynamite. I don't know where they got explosives, but they blow up the well. Oh, they had gasoline and a match.
Yeah.
And of course, the police arrive at the next morning and they investigate the remains in the well. They don't really find anything, but the leprechaun's like, I'm not resting until I get all of me gold back. And that's the movie Leprechaun.
Literally 30 minutes.
So any
Oh,
symbolism, Bunyip?
any
Symbolism? I don't know, greed and how sinful it is. Like, this all starts because Dan O'Grady is like, I got a bunch of gold. And the leprechaun's like, I don't want you getting a hold of my gold. It's not nice to steal from a leprechaun. And he's insisting on the rules like, oh, I found it at the end of the rainbow, or like, I caught you and I asked for your gold and I got it. So doesn't that count? Like, it does talk about like the myth of the leprechaun, and like if you catch one, they'll give you whatever you want, namely their
Mhm.
gold. But also the leprechauns are magical. It talks about some of it, but I wish they talked about more about the leprechaun myth.
right?
It was like
Because
just enough to service the movie.
Mhm.
buckle up. Here's some lore, some thick lore for the
All right,
leprechaun.
drop it.
Mike, pot of gold dropped. So leprechauns, surprisingly, rarely appear in Irish mythology. Fun fact. It's weird. I know. You would think they would be more prominent, but they're not. They're there, but they're not as frequently shown as people would believe. Obviously, leprechauns are a form of fairy or spirit. They're kind of lumped in with like pixies, sprites, fae, all that. They're a form of little fairy, little man, a green suit. They have also been depicted as like shoemakers who have a hidden pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I mean, typical. But also, fun fact if you didn't know, if you're in an airplane and you see a rainbow is technically not, there's no end to the rainbow.
It's a
The
full
rainbow,
circle.
it's a full
Yeah,
circle.
I got to see one. It was beautiful.
And I'm like, that's kind of gay. It makes a hole. I'm like, oh, I'm like, that's when I first found that out. And I found that out in God's year of 2024. And I'm like, that's fucking gay. And let me tell you, I'm gay as shit. And that's fucking gay.
It's like, that's gross. I love it.
I'm like, oh, there's no end. There's no pot of gold. It's a lie. So leprechauns have been around since I think the first appearance of a leprechaun was back in there's a story that was, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the fucking story, but it's like a saga and it's from like the 13th century. I think that's like the earliest adaptation of like the leprechaun that we know of. Yeah, they have a lot to do with like cobbling shoes, and they're more of the jokester part of the jokesters as far as the story is concerned that they're usually part of. Um One of the things is, yeah, you can capture a leprechaun, they'll let you go. They'll give you whatever you want to let you go. And of course,
Oh,
people usually go for the golden shit. What?
if you sneeze 3 times without being told "bless you," you become, a leprechaun's wife.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I heard that one, like, years ago.
What the fuck? Mm, 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 mm.
Don't know if that one's true, but I heard it, like, years ago.
Leprechauns are a weird, weird thing. They're a symbol of St. Patrick's Day. That's why, like, it's surprising to know that they're not in Irish mythology a lot. Because that's like when people think of Ireland, think of leprechauns and potatoes. So,
I think of whiskey.
well, that too.
I think of whiskey. I think of beautiful land. I think of P.S. I love you. I think
I think if I ever were to ever step foot off a plane in Ireland, I would fit in until I say something. I would fit in the land and the people of Ireland. I would fit in like I'm one of their own until I say something like, "Oh no, it's a fucking American."
oh no, he's stupid. It's like
Nah, I'm one of y'all. My whole name is all nothing but Irish.
mine's not.
Literally.
Mine is not.
Yours is German.
I know, but I'm Irish.
Oh, that's your German last name.
So like I'm German, like I have a German last name, right? Because like my mom's half German, my dad's half German, but my dad is also half Irish. So like I'm Irish as well, but I look like I'm Spaniard. Like like I make no sense. I don't look like anything that I'm supposed to be. Like people think I'm fucking Mexican. Like I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it. Like there's nothing like to be fair, I live in southern Texas, you know, but like like people think I'm Mexican and I'm all like, "Bro, I don't understand anything you're saying. I'm sorry."
I'm white as shit. I'm known as to my Hispanic friends or their families for that matter. I'm the honorary white boy that's invited to the house. I'm that white boy that just randomly
Same
appears
though.
there. And I'm perfectly fine with that because I don't know what's going on half the time. And I'm just sitting there going, yep, I'm here. I'm part of the family.
You got invited to the barbecue.
I got invited to the barbecue. No, I got invited to the oh God. Never mind. I was like, I was going somewhere with that. And I'm like, I had it. And I'm like, nope, lost it. Never mind.
Bye. See you later. It ran away.
Meanwhile,
Just don't ask me to go. Just don't ask me to go to a Catholic church because I will be set on fire the second I go in.
Meanwhile, what, Bunya?
I was gonna say I have an English last name, but we're not English in the slightest, other than
Colonizers.
American
Colonizers.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
What?
Hold on.
Hold on to
No,
what?
like no. Like I heard something really creepy in my room. Like after I said, "Oh my god," so like I was like, "Wait a minute, the demons are
Hello?
here."
I was just
Hello,
trying,
demons. It's me, your boy. Like you know. But anyway,
trying to relate to the conversation.
no. You're good. No, I was gonna say, "Oh my god, dude, my last name translates to shoemaker."
Well, of course it fucking does. Of course it does. Of course it does.
Specifically,
Housekeeper.
clogs.
Oh, that's even better. That's the uniform. Housekeeper is now always wearing clogs. Period.
I used to own a pair of clogs.
Oh my god,
Like-
you are
like-
so white.
No, like 90s, like open heel, like shoe that they had.
Here.
You know what shoes I'm talking about, right?
I do, unfortunately.
I used to own a pair of those.
I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not.
Stop! Oh my god. Like, oh my god, I found them! Stop!
Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh my god.
You're making us look real white right now.
Listen, you didn't own a pair. I owned a pair of these fucking shoes, dude. Hold on. I had to find the exact pair of shoe. I had to find the exact one.
Ladies and gentlemen, others, I am sorry. I am so sorry for my Caucasianness. From the mountains of Caucasus.
From the mountains of Caucasus.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
So thinking back on, I don't know, my parents would be like, here's where your heritage is, and now
I hate it here.
doubtful.
Get that out of here. Anyway, continue on.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking my mother's side is heavily German, just based on the maiden name and the long history. And then my dad shows up and it's like, "Huh, I have an English last name." I was like, "Okay, we're just gonna cut your German stuff in half."
I mean, you're still half German.
I
Mm,
don't know if I'm that much. Like,
I'm
she wasn't pure German. She just
yeah.
has
Okay.
ancestry, and now I'm not even sure, but I'm gonna assume that they're like, "You're part German, part French, part whatever." I'm like, "Okay, can I claim any of that?" "No, you're a white American. You're just white." And they're like, "Okay, that's cool."
Yeah, I mean, if
Right.
it makes you feel better, like the German part of my family, like the actual people who are part of my family, share the same last name and everything that are in Germany do not acknowledge us as part of the family
Uh,
because we're
damn.
not from Germany.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, I thought Germans were supposed to be nice. Like, like, don't like, please acknowledge me. Like, please. Um,
It's like, "I
my
just wanna
ancestor was
learn."
a Viscount. Like,
He's like, "I just wanna learn the culture and heritage." Like, "No, you a Southern white boy."
pretty much. They're like, you're from Texas? That's
Ugh.
and I'm all like, I'm by Fredericksburg. I'm by Fredericksburg. Like, New
My
Braunfels, like German settlement in Texas, right? Like,
that's close enough, right?
it's close enough, right? Right? I go
I'm
to the festivals there. I eat Jägersitzel. It's my favorite. Please.
I'm literally just born in Florida to a family that is both Irish and Scottish, but they refuse to acknowledge the Scottish part of the family, even though the surname is Scottish, but it's also half the family with Irish. So if you ever go to my side of the family, like, yeah, we're Irish and Scottish, like, no, 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 we're just Irish. And it's like, no, no, no. Open a book and learn the history of the family. We're also
But the
Scottish,
thing is,
Bill.
though, is like, how the fuck did that happen?
What? The
Was it
Irish
like a
Scottish
Romeo
thing?
and Juliet like type
I don't
thing?
know.
Like,
I needed to do more research on it, but all I know about my family, somehow they started in Scotland, and then for whatever reason, half the family decided to move to Ireland, and then was there forever. And then and then from Ireland, a portion of them went to America.
murder.
Why I don't know, or why they split and went to Ireland and then stayed in Scotland. So I'm like, I always make the joke that I could feel my ancestors arguing with each other.
Like
Because
Mulan.
yes, yes. The fact that I'm gay, that I'm in a gay relationship with a Viking, with someone who has Viking heritage, no less. That's even better. Because I've when he told me that, yeah, I have Norwegian background. I'm like, oh my god, my ancestors fight. Nah, he's from your side of the family.
See, that's why
I,
me and him get along so well.
oh my god, and I just make the joke. Oh my god, I'm dating somebody who colonizes me. Literally, oh, my ancestors. I just feel like the Mulan.
No, your great granddaughter had to be a
Yeah,
crossdresser.
your great grandson had to be a faggot. God, it's full hilarity, y'all. I just feel my ancestors going. He ain't from over here. He's y'all.
It's
He's y'all
nice that
Scots.
you'll know your history. We have mostly forgotten ours.
I know the bare minimum. Like
Look,
where?
I'm just going off of what my grandma told us.
Yeah, literally. I've gone off of what my grandmother, when may she rest in peace. She started doing a family tree, but she never finished it. So I have what she found, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm just
I
going
have
off of what my grandma
family.
told us because apparently to my grandma, like, we're also like Choctaw. And I'm like, where the fuck does that come in? Where is that? Like,
I swear every
Hello.
family in the South is like, "Yeah, you're part Native American," and then they, like, list a tribe, and then they'd have no way to back it up.
well, yeah, but
Or
like I just don't understand. Like, I'm not saying like this is like 100% like true fact, right? Like, this is just my grandma said this. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
yeah,
we have Choctaw in us, and I'm like, where? Like,
when you
where
really
is it?
when
Bitch,
you're
I look
really
like I'm from Spain.
yeah,
Where?
that's why I'm like, even if we do, I'm guarantee a majority of the people down here do have native in their family somewhere, but it's
Yeah.
not enough to really count for anything. It's like
Dude.
one person decided to mate with a white man, and then they went from there.
That's true. You know what? I'm gonna do like that 23andMe or like
That's what I need to do too.
Ancestry.com. Like,
I need
yeah,
to do
they're
the
gonna
same
have my
thing.
DNA. Yeah, they could sell the information, but bitch, I'm curious.
What's all up there?
Like,
'Cause-
I'm dying to fucking know.
Because what last time my family member did that, my grandmother did that before she died. She found out she had Portuguese or Spaniard in her side, and I'm like, what? So it's quite interesting, and all this spawned from a little man who wanted to get his pot of gold that went.
To be fair, like, I do believe the Irish side because most of my fucking, like, dad's side of the family, like, comes from Chicago.
Yeah. That, and we're
Like,
also trying to fill up time because I'm not about to have a 30-minute episode.
So we're just talking about ancestry after
Yeah.
this, right? You know.
Basically,
Yeah, we should also
spawns a
maybe
conversation.
talk about what we liked about the movie.
Oh,
I
that's
thought the
fair.
movie
We
was
should probably do
hilarious.
that. I thought the
I thought-
movie was funny. It's
Yeah.
very much aged.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell it's from the 90s.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And Jennifer Aniston, my love, I hate this character. I don't hate how she played it. I just fucking hate this character.
Yeah.
I love Rachel. Like, I love Rachel. I love Friends. You know, and so like I have like this certain image, and I guess it's a downside of playing like an iconic character for so long. So like whenever I like see her play this bratty city girl, like, oh, we're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. You don't have cable. I'm all like, bitch, you had cable in the 90s? Like, how rich were you? Because cable was very hard to come by in the 90s. Like, we still had like antenna whenever I was growing up. So, like, hello? She had a fucking mobile phone in 93. She had a fucking mobile phone. I'm like, bitch,
Right.
that's a fucking dinosaur.
Yes, it is.
I saw that shit and I was just all like, wow, our cell phones are now the same size again.
Oh, you're not wrong. But no, the movie was great. The movie was funny and campy, and it's like it's Chucky before Chucky, or actually after Chucky, because this movie came out after Child's Play.
Let's see.
I was like, wait a minute, this came after. Did you know once upon a time there was rumors that there was going to be a Chucky versus Leprechaun? Could you imagine that fucking movie?
Yeah, because the Child's Play was Jesus Christ, excuse me. I drank a soda before this.
Damn.
It's coming back. Child's Play was blah 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 was released November 9th, 1980.
But yeah, there was rumored once upon a time Leprechaun versus Chucky. Who do you think
That
would
would have been
win?
interesting to see.
Because you can't really kill either one of them.
I mean, you could kill the leprechaun.
But he's just going to come back.
Don't steal his fucking gold. That simple.
Chucky would. Chucky would.
Chucky would do that shit because he's like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be
And
like,
then
Tiffany!
or Tiffany would take it and then blame him.
Oh, I don't know, because Tiffany seems to have more of a better conscience than Chucky does.
Yeah, well, she's also trying to kill him currently in the series.
That's fair. Oh, you're right. You're right.
I feel like she'd take it and then try to frame him and be like, maybe the leprechaun can finally fucking kill him. If she can't, maybe he can. But no, I would love to see a Leprechaun versus Chucky. But this is not a Chucky episode, which we should do a Chucky episode someday.
I actually really like Chucky. I like that franchise a lot.
Oh my
like,
god.
you know, I have a story about Chucky, but I feel like I should save it
Save it.
or whenever we review it.
So, rating system for Leprechaun, the first one. How many gold pieces? We'll start with Bunyip.
I want to give it a 2.5.
2.5.
damn. Why?
It's I don't really hate it. It's sort of like I was kind of interested into it, and it had its moments, especially Warwick Davis just living it up. Did a great job playing the role. It's just all the other characters I didn't seem to care that much for. And honestly, it's hard to say it. I like the movie okay, and I don't know if it should be like a 2.5 or a 3. But I was losing interest a lot.
That's
I feel
fair.
that. I feel that. I'll
That's
say,
fair.
I mean, like, I agree with you. Like, there were times where I was losing interest. I've had to rewatch it more than once because, like,
Mhm.
my attention was pulled elsewhere during the film, like, while watching it. Like, it's a great movie for the time that it came out, right? Like, and I never watched it growing up. Like, this was the first time me watching it, and I was like, yeah, this is a fucking 90s movie if I've ever fucking seen one. I feel like the pacing was off a little bit, but that's just me. Like, I just felt
Mhm.
like it was a little jumpy.
I think so too, because it's like, okay, our plot is he just wants to get his gold back. How do we get him to be terrorizing and threatening? And he does kill people, so he is a threat. He just it's a little hard to take him seriously sometimes. And there's a lot of going back and forth, like, okay, we're going to the farmhouse. Okay, we're going to the hospital. Okay, we're going back to the farmhouse. Okay, now we have to go to the nursing home. Like it's a lot of travel time.
But this all happens within 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it. Like, it feels like it happened over a span of like 2 or 3 days, maybe.
Yeah.
But also they could have really played up the myth of the leprechaun other than just being like, oh, here's what he does and he has a weakness to four-leaf clovers. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, they never really explained.
But other than that, I still think people should watch it at least once because it does have its moments.
That's true. I do agree with you. I'll give it a 3.
Okay, so 2.5 and a 3.
And I'll give it a 3 as well.
Okay.
Same reasons. It's a fun movie. It's not, oh my god, groundbreaking by no means, but it's a fun movie.
It is. It is a fun movie. I like how it's rated R.
Yeah.
It seems like if that movie came out today, it'd be rated like PG-13.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the ratings have changed. But yeah, the average is a 2.8.
Litty titty, 2.8 out of 5 gold pieces. Go watch it. It is on a couple streaming services out there. I don't know which one's top of my head, but it's out there.
I think I watched mine on. Hold on.
I think it's Peacock
I did not watch it on Peacock. I watched it on.
or Tubi.
I think I watched it on. The only reason why I watched it on Tubi was because um where I was at, it was someone else's Peacock,
Yeah.
and I didn't know which. 'Cause it was at the store.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, "Ugh, I don't wanna sign into this Peacock, so I'll just go and download a new app on there and watch it."
Yeah. So there you
So,
go. So there you go. 2.5, 2.8 out of 5. Go watch it.
yeah, like, I still suggest watching.
Yeah. So that will be the end of today's episode. Bye.
Goodbye.